Hey guys, just a little quick video. Just want to do a little bit of a video here. But I've always had this. I just recently been thinking about this, and it's kind of ironic that Dr. Wolf and Gears did a video that's similar to this topic. But it makes you wonder. We can look at Naysay this year as being, being a jerk, being a jerk, I wouldn't say Hitlerish, but I would say more, but basically being a jerk, being an a-hole, excuse my language, God. But one that, according to some, actually has a point in some areas. But to me, it's like the EEA, when we first see the entire administration, the entire place. Some people say it feels like something out of Harry Potter, but is it just me, or did it feel like it had a dark, ominous presence to it? Like something was off. And then you take upon the fact that everything people have said about Naysay, and even I've said it, how this guy has been acting towards Twilight and basically putting words in her mouth, and coming to the Family and Friends Day, but not when she was expecting him, but kind of surprise, if you will. And then doing what he did recently with Friendship University by endorsing Flim and Flam. And a bit of spoilers, we pretty much know how Flim and Flam got copies of Twilight's lessons. We pretty much know it was Cozy Glow, thanks to the encouragement of Naysay. And as we see in the trailer, she's working with him, and he's going as far as to involve Turek, who may or may not have something to do with this. So my question could be, is the darkness that we've seen, that dark magic that we have seen all the way back in season 1 with the dark magic, the nightmare magic that influenced Luna into Nightmare Moon, that she was saved from, she was cured from. The same nightmare magic that if you count the comics as part of the continuity, or somewhat semi part of the continuity, also influenced Rarity, or manipulated Rarity. If you, like I say, if you count the comics as a semi part of the continuity, and then you take a look at what's going on how Sombra was presented and how he was cured, again, if you count the comics as semi part of the continuity, and then you look at the Pony of Shadows. You look how powerful Chrysalis was before things fell apart for her. Heck, even Turek was powerful until he got defeated. And it all centered around, and most of that, like I said, the nightmare magic, the magic that corrupted Sombra, the magic of the Pony of Shadows, even the magic that helped, I guess, free Turek or something. The same magic that, obviously, it seems to me, maybe I'm wrong, hopefully I am, it seems to be influencing the EEA and mostly Naysay. Because you got to think about this, it's like, why is he this way? I mean, it could be just because he's a xenophobic, or it's like I said a couple of times, it's like I said recently in a text reply on the MLP forums, it might be the fact that it's something that's passed down to him from generations. His family that he came from made a vow along with others to protect Equestria and all ponies in there from threats to their kind, or something like that. So my major So, that could be it too. And and I've also brought up other scenarios as well, but when one thinks about it, this dark magic has been known to create a pony of shadows that corrupted Stygian, dark nightmare magic that corrupted Luna, and like I say, if you count the comics as sort of a semi-part of the continuity, corrupted Rarity. Looks like the same kind of dark magic that corrupted Sombra, and then again, you count the comics as semi-part of the continuity, was cured from. Kind of gave power, kind of allowed Tyrek to get free. It makes you wonder, who's behind it? And again, like I said, also seems like, before I get into talking about who could be behind it, is influencing, in my opinion, it looks like, maybe I'm wrong, the EEA. And mostly Naysay. So the question would be, where did this dark magic come from? Because it all seems to be connected. It all seems to be connected. It's like it's all coming from one source, in my opinion. Because it's basically the same dark magic every time we see it. Whether it takes the form of a pony of shadows, a venom-like creature to corrupt someone like Stygian, whether it's a manipulative source of dark magic that manipulates ponies into becoming a nightmare, into a dark version of themselves. One has to wonder, perhaps, because he's being built up as a major threat, but probably the biggest threat ever. If maybe Grogar is behind it. Think about this. You might say, well, what about Scorpion? He's been depicted in the show. But Scorpion, the way he was depicted in flashbacks, is a good creature. Is one that has good intentions in mind. Doesn't want to hurt anybody. But yet, when you take a look at Grogar and the way he's being described, one has to wonder if perhaps, he's powerful enough to have created this dark magic. Now you might say, well, he was defeated by that unicorn in her unicorn warriors, right? True. But what if before he was defeated he cast a spell, a curse, that basically ensured that basically as long as there's goodness or light in Equestria, there's always going to be darkness to counter it. And perhaps that's where the dark magic came from. Maybe it came from him casting some kind of dark spell or curse upon the land, to where this dark magic, whoever it would come in contact with, would be corrupted by it. Think about that for a second. Think about that. Just checking something there. My computer likes to load, or I guess Windows likes to try to do updates and all that when you're not noticing. But anyway, think about that for a second. Think about that. If this character is being built up to be the way he is, he could be the one behind a lot of that. Behind that dark magic. Think about that for a second. He could have, in defeat, cast this spell, this curse, to be thrown upon Equestria and the world. Basically stating that as long as there's goodness or light, there's going to be that darkness that counters it. And that it's going to take a Pacific, and that the only way to defeat it or weaken it is a Pacific power of goodness. And maybe that's why Starswell and the Pillars created the amulets. Not just to stop the pony, create the amulets. Not just because it was to protect Equestria from the pony shadows, but to probably protect it from beings like Grogar. And think about it. We don't know much about Starswell's past. We don't know who he's met, who he's come in contact with. What if he did come in contact with this, whatever her name is, leader of these unicorn warriors, that defeated Grogar and gave them the elements. Think about that. Think about it. Him and the Pillars could have gave the elements, or whatever the magic elements were, or infused with their power, or whatever, to the Unicorn Warriors to defeat Grogar. Think about that. Think about that. Again, it's just speculation on my part. But, in my opinion, it makes a lot of sense. You know, we haven't gotten a distinct answer as to where all this dark magic is coming from, how it was created. And I think the obvious answer is it's got to be Grogar. Because think about it. This dark magic has influenced, and probably is influencing, characters like ponies and other creatures to do evil, to be who they're not, to manipulate. And it's like, that's not who these characters are, apparently. And obviously, I should say. But the question is that true? Is this real? Could this be the reality of it? Because again, we're going on the 9th season after this season, and we have yet to find out exactly where this dark magic has come from and why it's influencing such characters so easily, or corrupted characters. I mean, for all we know, the changelings became what they are, or what they were, because of the dark magic. And the only reason they were able to, be what they are now is because they embraced, they gave love, they didn't feed off of it. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like I'm making it more complicated than it sounds. But think about it. Chrysalis could have been corrupted so much to the point that she hungers for darkness. She hungers for power. But perhaps she used to be good. I'm just saying. Maybe the changelings, as they were, used to be good. Or used to be... Well, think about it this way. The changelings could have been as they are now before they became what they were. And perhaps the dark magic corrupted them to the point that it erased maybe memories of the past, and all they knew about was being the way they were, feeding off love, causing chaos and havoc and all that. So think about that for a moment. Think about that. If Grogar is presented as being so powerful, what? Check something here. Well, like I said, if he's being presented as being so freaking powerful, let me see if it reads it here. Okay, if he's so powerful, that it takes Gusty, that's the name of the character, and her unicorn warriors to beat him or slow him down. But not enough to where he's able to break any kind of bonds they put upon him. And he feeds on fear. You can't tell me that a character that feeds on fear isn't capable of doing something like casting a spell or a curse to create a darkness like the NightMare magic. Think about that. Think about it. If he's being advertised to be as powerful as he is, I think there's your answer. And I'm sorry if I lost track a little bit. I got distracted there for a moment. But think about it. If Grogar is, because like I said, ever since the shows began and up till now, we don't know exactly who created this dark magic or where it came from. For all we know, when he got slowed down, if not kind of defeated, he probably placed a curse. We don't know. That as long as there's light, there's going to be darkness. And like I was saying, oh yeah, that's what I was trying to say. And we don't know much about most of Star Swirl's past. So who's to say that when him and the Pillars created the amulets, or their elements, if you will, that they didn't that he didn't meet Gusty and the Unicorn Warriors and maybe pass on a bit of that magic to them, but it wasn't enough. But wasn't enough to defeat Grogar, but slow him down. Think about that for a second, guys. Think about that. I've been thinking about this, especially since Wolf and Gears did that video. It makes kind of sense. If we're approaching the last season, you have to figure we'll get an answer as to where this dark magic came from and who created it. And most likely, I think it's going to be revealed that Grogar did it. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think Grogar is the one that created the overall was the responsible for the creation of the dark magic? Do you think he's responsible? Do you think he did it as one last ace up his sleeve to at least show that as long, to get back at Gusty and her warriors and curse maybe Equestria to the point that as long as there's light, there's darkness, and perhaps that's why we got the rainbow powers and the elements of harmony, as they're the only ones that can actually weaken and stop this darkness. Because think about it. They've used the elements, they've used the rainbow magic, but they have yet to fully disperse this darkness from Equestria. So think about that for a second, folks. Think about that for long and hard. Is Grogar responsible? And again, I'm sorry for the distraction. Sorry for me getting distracted there momentarily. I was just trying to think of. I kind of lost my train of thought. Kind of trying to think about what I was going to say and look up on the computer here. But let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. What are your thoughts? And I'll talk to y'all later.